Hey everyone, this is Mukesh Shutwani once again from learn-automation.com. Today in this video we'll talk about how you can handle multiple tabs or multiple windows in Playwright. That's a very basic scenario, and each and every application that you will automate, you will come across this scenario, and Playwright have an interesting way to handle multiple tabs and window using browser context. So first let me show you what exactly I mean by multiple tabs and window. Now for example, if I take this application which is freelance learn automation, now you can see these are the social media links, right? And if I come back to footer, also have the same links. For example, if I click on, let's say, Facebook, you can see it's opening in a new tab, right? So this is my primary tab and it's opening in a new tab. Now by default it's opening in a new tab, but depends on the browser setting. If you have browser setting that open a new link in a new window, it will come something like this, right? So in both the cases, Playwright can handle this. For example, if I open, let's say, YouTube, again it's opening YouTube on a separate tab. If I talk about Twitter, it's opening in a new tab. So how we can switch to a new tab, do the operation, and once we're done we can come back. This is what exactly we are going to see. Now this is this scenario, but in your case please observe if application opening in the same page. For example, if I click on this link, it's not opening a tab, it's actually opening on the same tab, right? No need to switch. But if we have a new tab, then you need to follow this video, and I will talk about how you can handle how Playwright works internally. Now before we do this, I want to show you one quick documentation. We are going to use one of the very interesting method called waitForPage. Perform action and wait for the new page to be created in the context. Now what is context? For this you need to understand a new term called browser context. How exactly it works? So every time you create a browser, what happens? A browser context get created. So imagine this is your complete browser, and by default you have a one browser context. Every time you open one web application, it comes as a page. Okay, so by default we have a single page. This is page 1. Let's say I did some operation, I got new page. Again I did some more operation and I got new page. Page is basically a Playwright term. In general terms, it's a tab or separate window. So one browser context can have multiple tabs, which is basically multiple pages. So we need to understand how to capture these pages in Playwright. Moving forward, we will also discuss that one browser can have multiple contexts. So this is your context 1, which can have multiple pages, but you can also create another browser context and which can also have multiple pages here. Moving forward, I will show you how to create separate browser context and how to work with them. But as of now, what we will do, we will capture the current browser context and we'll capture the pages. So before we start, just imagine we have a browser. So once we start the browser, you will get a browser context. And the moment you open any web application, you will have a page. The moment I did some operation on this page, we'll get a new tab, which is basically a page. We'll wait for the page. Once this page is there, then we can interact with this page. You can imagine like this. We'll switch from this page to this page. We can do some operation and we can come back to this page, again go back to this page, and so on. So I will show you these methods. So you can switch to the parent page and this is your next page. Now this is a theory and the background before we start the video. So to show you this, I already have written playwright.create Chromium. We are running on Chromium. We have set headless equal to false so that we can see the execution, and we are creating a new page. But today, in order to work with browser context, you need to capture the browser context. You say browser dot context. So just type new context. Now if you see the definition, it says it will create a new browser context and it won't share the cookies and cache with other browser contexts. So basically I told it I can create multiple contexts. So this will create one context, and if you have multiple contexts, it will not interfere with each other. Return type is browser context. So let's create a browser context reference. So say browser context. It's a separate interface. So we are just creating a reference context. Now once we have the context, now we have to work with pages, right? So I will say context dot new page, and we got the page reference. So we'll get the page. Let me say this is main page. Now in order to show you this, I will open this application, but feel free to use any other application of your choice. and provide the URL. Now I need to click on this particular Facebook icon, right? So I will inspect this and let me increase the size here. As you can see, this is a hyperlink, and here we have href Facebook. So I can write that find a hyperlink where contains href, and I will type Facebook. So you can see I have two matching node, one is which is coming here and one at the footer. Now the XPath which I have written is matching with two nodes. So just to save some time, I have written a basic locator. What you can do, you can write XPath or CSS selector or find which will match with a single node. Now this is matching with two, so I will say click on the first one. So I will say first and then click. Now the moment I click on this link, which is a hyperlink, it opens a new tab. Now you have to use this method which I explained you in the beginning called waitForPage. So before clicking on this, I need to call this method that wait for the page, and once the page is loaded, return me the new page. As simple as that. Now how do we call this method? You have to use now this context, which is a reference of browser context. So type context dot wait for page. You can see this, right? Now it is asking runnable reference. So basically a callback function. So it will perform action and wait for the new page to be created in the context. So what you can do, just use pair of parentheses, arrow symbol, open curly braces and close. And here we are going to write our actions, which will actually bring a new page. In our case, by clicking on this hyperlink, it brings a new page, right? So it will wait for the page. Once the page will be created, you will get a reference of a new page. I will say this is new page. Now that's the main game. If you have to perform any activity on the new page, use this reference. If you have to perform any activity on the parent page, use this reference. Now in this case, sorry, let me go back. If I copy this and if I create incognito window, the moment I click here, it opens in a new tab. So we are going to inspect this. So click on inspect. Let's say I want to type something on this. So now notice this is an input tag, and you can see we have a name which is email, type equal to text. So maybe you can go with name. So I will say find an input tag where name equal to email. So it's giving two matching node. If you notice, this is actually highlighting one is here and one is here. This and this. So maybe we can go with the second one, because you can see 2 of 2, right? 1 of 1 is basically highlighting here, 2 of 2 which is highlighting here. So I will go with the second one. So in order to click on this, I will be using this new page. So I will say new page, and I want to click, right? So I will say locator. This is the XPath that we have written. Now it is matching with 2, 1 and 2. So I will go with last, which is basically second, and I will maybe do fill. I want to type maybe mukesh@gmail.com. That's all. Now let's see whether it's performing activity on the new page. So right click, run as Java application. It should start. It clicked on it, and now you can see it switched to this. It typed on the new tab. That is what we are exactly doing, right? So we waited for the page. Once the page got created, then we used new page, and now I'm searching this element. It was matching with 2, so I took the second one and used the fill. Let me also show you one interesting method. So right now we are on the new page, right? So for example, if I want to go back to the first page, I can use this method called bring to front. So when you say bring to front, what happens? It will immediately come here. And if you say go back to new page and this bring to front, this will be on the front. So when you say front, you can see visually this is like this. So again, if you want to go back to the main page, just use page.bring to front. Again, if you want to go back here, so basically you can keep calling this method, depends on where exactly you want to put focus. Now Again execute this so that you can see this bring to front method opened. Now it is happening very fast. Okay, it went here, again came here, again went back and come back here. If you want to slow down, you can actually slow down here. So I will say dot slow motion. Maybe I will set the slow motion to 1000 millisecond, which is 1 second. Now in order to show you this, what I will do, I will add one breakpoint here. So after executing this statement, I will execute them manually one by one. So just this time debug as Java application, and let it finish the task first. Yeah. So now we have a debugger. So let me keep this here so that you can see this properly. Now the moment I say execute this, it came to the main page. When I say again new page bring to front, it came here. Front page, new page. So I find this method very interesting if you want to get the visibility of the front page. So basically with whatever page you're working, a parent page or the new page. Now once you're done, let's say you want to close the new page. So you just have to use this new page. New page. You don't have to close the browser. Okay, you can close a specific page too. So you can say page.close. And now if you want to close the main page, you can say page.close. And once you're done, you can close the context.close. And at the last, you can close the browser. But let's say if you only want to close the new page, just call new page.close and you can continue with the main page. So this is how you can switch from one tab to another tab, technically one page to another page. And in Selenium, we use switch to command, right? So driver.switch to window. Here we have a page concept and you don't have to switch, wait for the page. And now you have two references. So anytime you want to switch back to the new page come back to main page, you can do that. Now this is part 1 of this video. In the part 2, I will show you, suppose if you have multiple links. For example, if I talk about this, if I click on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, now I have multiple tabs, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I want to switch to a specific tab if the title contains equal to this, or maybe URL contains equal to this. For example, I want to switch to a tab where title contains Facebook, or I want to switch to a tab where title contains LinkedIn. So in that case, we have to capture all the pages, then verify the title. If title or URL contains this, then give me the page. So that I will show in the part 2, otherwise this video will become lengthy. So just to summarize, you have to use one method called waitForPage. This belongs to context. So once you create the browser, you create a new context. From that context, create a page, do the operation on the parent page. Then you have to use this method context called waitForPage, and within this you have to write the steps which will actually create a new page. In our case, the moment we clicked on this link, it was creating a new tab. So within this method, write the steps. Once you get the new page, you can do any activity on this new page using this reference. You do your type, click, whatever activities. If you want to bring the main page to the front, call this. And once you're done, if you just want to close, use close. If you don't want to close, it's okay. At the end, you can close the context and you can close the browser. So I hope you got some clarity. If this video helped you in any manner, then do support this channel, share this video with your friends and colleagues. And if you're new to this channel, then make sure you subscribe this channel, and I will see you in the part 2 of this video. Till then, bye bye, take care.